Welcome everybody. Time to shut this down for May the 28th, 2014. We've had another really good day of trading. Most of the markets cooperated and did what was envisioned. This is the E-mini. This is our F1 screen. This is our starting point every day. This is our cap flow screen. And this tells us which way or from which side of the market the big money is playing. And you can see that we've got a higher low and a higher high. And you can see that volume is moving up in each of these distributions from where it has been. So volume moving through the distribution over time is what really gives you your clue as to the market's next direction. So from this screen, on the E-mini, our F1 screen, we come out buyers. Looking at the F2 screen, which is where we confirm the call. We would definitely like to see a P pattern on the F2 screen. And you can see once again that the E-mini is making new contract highs, and it's pretty well holding the gains. So when we take a look at it volume-wise, we've got volume moving up in each of these distributions. And here we are with a P pattern, although the market did pause today. So this one also supports buying. So the easiest trade to see is failure to take out this 14 to 15 area. And the market might pause. We've come a long way pretty fast. The second sell would be at 19 to 21. And we like our number 2 points much better than our number 1. On the buy side this morning, we wanted to get long either at 8 to 10 or at basically 5 plus or minus. Again, based on the overnight session where we are, I think the first place to get long is in this 8 to 10 area for buy 1, and then 4 to 6 for buy 2. I don't think the market can really move very far tonight. I don't think it can break out and make new highs without some help from the news. Don't think we'll have a lot of trading range tonight. So my numbers are going to be pretty tight for the overnight session. There is some news tomorrow that might help the market stir things up a little bit. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, the financials are just really strong. I'd posted a couple articles earlier this morning about the potential for a short squeeze, and the industry is playing from the short side. That's been the biggest trade of the year, and both Citicorp and now JP Morgan are talking about the potential for a short squeeze, given the amount of shorts that are still being carried. That takes a lot of staying power. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of savvy. And the gist of those articles were that the big currency play, long dollar, short yen, and short the treasuries on the expectations that interest rates were going to go up, which is why they were also long the dollar. Is really the same play. Will bring massive losses to some of the very largest players in the business, which again goes to show you that you're not right all the time. Even the best brains money can buy. Sometimes you're not right all the time. Okay, we are at resistance right here, right now in this 126.16 to 20. Strong market, higher low, higher high, strong close, 7-year auction tomorrow. As long as we stay above 26.06, this market can trade higher. Retesting the breakout would be pretty nice. So having a resting limit buy at 26.07, 06.07 would be an ideal structural buy right now, but this screen says you're a buyer. Looking at the F2 screen, definitely a very, very strong P with a tail and 2 distributions higher before we ran into consolidations. So the F2 screen, which is the traditional market profile screen based on 30-minute charts, 30-minute bars, says higher too. Okay, we got the 7-year auction tomorrow. The pattern for these auctions, my guess is that we will auction higher on all 3 auctions. That's what we're set up to do right now. But the break even for the 2-year and the 5-year pieces of paper is 126.03. So buying 04s to 07s, 03s to 07s would be an ideal play structurally. It would retest the breakout, and it would also work on the break-even costs for the auctions. Easiest trade to see is selling failure to make a new high in the overnight session. I think that's probably a pretty good trade. I don't see the market headed higher really than 23 to 27. On the buy side, 13 was the last rotation down. Looks like the market's coming down. We've got a single print at 10.5. So let's play for 7 to 11, but it may take 13s to get off along, but we'll play for a little bit lower. Lean against this single print right here, and then 1 to 5 for buy 2. Now we do have some news tomorrow, but I'm not too sure the news will play. We've got jobless claims at 318. We got second GDP at minus 0.5 where it was. Deflator plus 1.3. Pending home sales at plus 1%. This number is actually coming a little bit stronger, at least the last report. And then we'll have crude inventories and natural gas inventories that no one but energy payers will pay attention to. So the first focus will be jobless claims. Even though it's old news, GDP will be number 2. Then pending home sales, number 3. But the major dynamic we'll face is the 7-year. I think the market will like to see a little correction, enable people to buy it a little cheaper. And if I had to place a resting limit buy order, I would do it at right here at 4.5 or 5. That would be the limit buy. Don't think we can get it that low though. So that's what I see for the note. And may take 13s to get off along, depending. I mean, the market was so much stronger yesterday than I thought it was going to be after the close, in spite of the fact that the E-mini was pretty strong too. Okay, taking a quick look at the bond, which is my favorite contract. Just a very, very strong market. Made new highs. The knob spread went out over 12 today. Just really, really hard to ignore this strength. And if you're bullish on interest rates, think they're coming down, then you're long the 30 and you're short the 10-year, and that's the play that we're seeing. And we have not seen these fellows that play the knob spread back away. So I mean, we're at resistance. So 23.24, selling failure to get through 23.28, I think is a great trade. And the issue really becomes, where do we buy it? On the auction, the last price down was 14, 13, then D period low at 9. So maybe 9 to 13 for buy 1. May have to pay as high as 17s to get in. But we're going to try to buy it on the cheap. and then 1 to 5 for buy 2. Always try to buy it a little cheaper, but you know, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to pay up. Okay, gold is headed lower. Let's take a look at the big picture, the F1 screen. Larry's pointing out that we roll, so after the close of business tomorrow afternoon, we'll be trading the September contract in the note and the bond. So gold is just getting smacked. And again, part of it's the strength that you see in the financials and the equities. People are afraid that they're, I mean, what is gold? I mean, it just sits there. It's an asset. It certainly will protect you in really, really hard times if you can market it, cut it into small enough pieces. Actually, when you get down to the logistics and the easier doing it, silver is a better medium. That's what you're playing. But you can just tell that we're really, really headed lower. So we've got volume down here in the 1215 area. Remember the 1185s, 1175s that we had over there. Got this low volume number at 35. We've got an attractor at 55. Maybe a little bit lower that we got. So we're at 57, lower high, lower low. We're looking for a place to sell it on this one. And ultimately, maybe 1215 is the target with that high volume number down below. But we haven't had a lot of interest in buying gold. So it's going to take some central bank news, some sovereign debt problems before I think gold pops back up. Recently, they've let India start to buy gold again legally. China's always buying it. Russia's in the market buying gold right now, so some people are taking advantage of lower prices. But it's not seen as an investment. It's being played differently. So we got a low volume number down here at 50. We do have some support at 55, so I think we're headed lower. You can see the spill was from 1260, 1262, and you can see we got pretty good resistance in the 65, 67. So we're at 57.80. What was support is now resistance. So selling 60s to 62, sell 1, then 65, 67, sell 2. I'm gonna make it 53, 55. Let them take it down tonight, but not break. And then we're gonna make 48 to 50 for let them get stops below 50 for buy 2, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, crude oil. Crude oil's been in a fairly tight trading range. It's starting to sell. We came in this morning wanting to be short crude oil. We thought that without any news from the South China Sea and nor any news out of the Ukraine-Russia, that crude oil would reflect that and trade lower. So we've got really, really good resistance at 450, and we had this rally up that started at 101.75, 102. So we got here's our break right here in the volume, this 102.50 area, and the market is certainly pointed lower. So 102.50 might be a good place to buy it, and on the sell side, we had this spill from 103, it's like 85.75. So we're sellers off of this screen. We'll tighten it up. Look at our F2 screen. One shot out of in the South China Sea. big riots in Vietnam where Chinese nationals are attacked, or Russia stepping back into the Ukraine would change our call for being short crude. Okay, we have this breakout over here that you can see in the 102.65.70 area. We've got this attractive area down here, 102.32 to 102.12. Obviously, 50 is a fairly round number. So we'll make 25 to 50 buy 1, and then 75 to 102 for buy 2. May not be till tomorrow's day session before we get there. On the sell side, the spill came from 103.25. Pretty much unanswered selling, so I'd like to sell up against 103.25. So 325, 350 for sell 1, and then 375 to 104 for sell 2. And we'll see how that plays. And last will be the euro. And we'll take a look at the F1 screen because it may be getting ready to move with some momentum. I believe the target is going to be 135 and then maybe ultimately 130, 150, 132. Not in one day. Right now, the articles being floated out of Europe is that the European Central Bank really can't do all that much. And so they're going to cut the interest rate, but they're not going to change the assets or do any buyback programs or anything. Okay, here's your attractor right here. And we're there. If we break this low volume number at 85, then our attractor down here is 35.15, 35.30. So I think ultimately we are going to make it to 135. So first we got to break 35.85. We're definitely on the sell side, and you can see structurally right here, 136 is going to be a number that we'd like to lean against. Looking at the F2 screen, having to cover a lot. When you do 6 markets, it takes time to get through them all. And you can see we definitely have a B pattern, and the market is pointed lower. So we've got 75 as a potential target, so we'll make buy 1 at 75. Maybe they don't break it. I'm really not too interested in the buy side. And then our 50 area for buy 2. I think that 35 to 50 area might actually be some support. So last rotate up in F period stopped at 36, so we'll make 36, 36.10, sell 1, and then 20 to 30, which is where we had our sell this morning. 20 to 30, we had a high of 30 as sell 2. And that's all I have for May the 28th. I'm going to go stop the recording right now. Be right back.